You are listening to Arts on the Air, a bi-weekly-ish interview show dedicated to Savannah, Georgia's artists, musicians, and authors. Each episode will feature a guest in conversation about their philosophy, practice, and current projects, as well as their thoughts on the state of the arts in our community of Savannah. Our theme music is a clip of Summer Nights by the Eric Jones Trio. It's provided by our friend Mark Chesanow, who plays with the Eric Jones Trio every Thursday and Sunday at Good Times Jazz Bar downtown. Hey everyone, welcome to Arts on the Air. This is Tamara Garvey, and I'm with David Laughlin. Welcome, David.
Hey.
And this week we're interviewing the band the Maxines. So excited. I want to read a little bit. Your bio from Instagram is a badass all-chick rock band in Savannah, grunge with a kiss of metal, which I love. So if you guys want to go around and each of you maybe say your name and your instrument, and then we can hear your lovely voices right off the top of the show.
I'm AJ. I'm the vocalist and lyricist.
I'm Maddie, I play guitar.
I'm Emma and I play the bass.
I'm Coco and I play drums.
Welcome.
I'm David and sorry.
You're wanting to be part of the
Sorry,
band
I've
after
always
this, right?
wanted to be part of a band.
Do you guys have room for a tambourinist? Because
Yeah.
David probably wants
Definitely.
to jump in.
100%.
Yeah.
I have a bass kalimba.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And listeners of the show might remember we played a bunch of songs by the Maxines in a show right around Thanksgiving. We did a special musical show, so we're really excited to be talking to you and following that up. And it was songs from your recent album that came out called Skin Tight, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that just came out in October.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone can listen to that on Bandcamp and what are all the
Spotify.
places? Spotify. It's out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Music,
like everywhere.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
guess.
Everywhere listen to music.
Multi-resourceful.
Cool.
We got physical copies of the CD. We do.
Oh, you have real CD? Yeah, because you guys are like 90s tint,
Yeah.
so you have to have CDs. I love that.
Do you have a cool album cover?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Oh, all their,
Buy it
Shot
for that
by
alone.
Jordan Mount.
we'll have to talk
What?
about your photography.
Shot by Jordan Mount.
Jordan Mounts.
Buy it for that alone. Okay.
What was the recording process like? Where did you go for that, and how did that go?
We went to Scary, who was part of Black Tusk.
Oh, okay.
He has his own little spot in his garage at the back of his house.
It's very DIY.
He's Hidden
Yeah.
Audio. That's his
name.
business name, and he's incredible. So amazing to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's in his garage, but it's so professional
It's so
so
professional.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to record these? 10 songs, is that right?
Nine
9
songs.
Okay.
How long did it
We recorded the first 6 songs like this time last year, right? I think, and then was it August that we recorded the other 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it because you're still writing those, or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we're
we
still writing them.
this time last year we just had the 6 songs, and then
Okay.
over the rest of the year we wrote the last 3 and then recorded those later. But
There's
I
a couple
think-
days for each session, and we would go back to do some minor changes and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask how many times you have to play each song to really get it where you want it.
It felt, I mean,
a lot.
for the original, like, the main, before we added layers of, like, guitar and vocals and stuff, it felt like that went pretty quick. Like, you kind of play through the song and then move on to the next song. Like, we kind of recorded all 6 songs in the first day, right?
Wow.
We made, we
Yeah.
changed some stuff, like, re-recorded some parts, but
It's more for like
Just
getting
the
the
instruments,
drums.
and then
Yeah.
the vocals were laid on more.
Yeah.
I think it was like really late on the Sunday,
yeah.
and then we ended up coming back I think on the Monday in the evening, I think.
Like after
And then
listening to it to
laying
see
down
what you
more
still
Yeah.
needed?
Yeah.
vocals, Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the album Skin Tight you're talking
Yes.
about,
Yeah.
right? That sounds, you're right, professional sound to it. It doesn't,
Yeah.
it's not the garage sound at all, although it's got the garage soul.
Yeah.
How's that?
In a garage,
Yeah.
but very
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah.
We're so happy with how the songs turned
Yeah.
out. Like,
And that was the 3 of us, or me, Maddie, and AJ, our first time recording, and our bassist Veronica.
Right.
Emma's our new bassist.
Bassist. I've interviewed Veronica before. Also.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Very
Veronica
dope.
has
That's cool.
recorded before, and then the 3 of us, it was our first time. and
First
it-
time.
It went really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all.
Yeah.
I was a little bit nervous because I was like, I don't know, like how much I'm supposed to bring, or like how
I'm unfortunately not as professional of a sound mixer as Scary, but I will do my best at fixing this up. And then the process of like, is it called mixing, just fixing the levels and all this stuff? How is it like, does he just take control and do all that, or do you guys all work together to say how you want it to be, or what's that like?
He did a lot of like the mixing stuff while we were like recording. He does a lot of it at the same time. So usually by the time we'd get home, like driving back from his place, he would already have like kind of a version that we could listen to ourselves at home, which is really
very
cool.
fast.
Yeah, it was nice to get them back like right away and then
Yeah.
decide what we wanted to change.
Definitely a lot of back and forth of us being like, can we turn up the vocals just a little bit in this
we
song?
were,
And then, you know,
a little particular
it.
about some things.
Or like we want some sort of effect. He's really open to like what you want the sound to be.
Yeah.
And he's just really fun and like willing to play around. you
Yeah,
know?
that's nice.
Which is really
He had the time to devote
exactly
to doing that.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
nice to work with someone like that. That's not so like this is how it's gonna sound.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you know, this is my sound, and I'm the engineer, and this is how I do it. He's like,
Oh,
oh, let's try that.
right.
Oh yeah, let's try that.
Not like
yeah.
he's this artist who has a sound. It has to be like
He's so
right.
much fun to work with, like with the
vibra slap.
the vibra slap.
Is that an instrument? What is that?
Yeah, it's the one that like
It's donkey
it's
jaw,
in burn.
is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's also called the donkey jaw. It's like grrr, that sound.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a percussion instrument.
We're like, let's add
Yeah.
this
Learning a
somewhere,
lot.
and he was adding it in
You
like the
wanted
end of a song randomly.
Yeah.
Like he would add it randomly, and then like you would hear him snicker, like when it went out. He would be like at the
Someone got a new toy.
Like,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I'll listen.
You know?
It's called
Like,
a
wait, we need to try this. Hold on.
Yeah.
so
it's called
fun.
a donkey jaw, you said?
Yeah,
Well, that's
you
the
can hear it. You
best.
I'll
can hear
listen
it
out
in
for
burn
that.
if you listen.
Yeah.
It's like
Wow.
in the
After
background.
after the second chorus.
Yeah, going into the bridge.
Yeah.
I
You can
believe
hear
it.
it. It's like a
It's like-
rattle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a rattlesnake.
I feel like
almost.
Donkey Jaw would be a cool name for a band.
It
Also.
really
it would.
yeah.
And Emma, you had recorded
Wait a minute.
before.
I haven't. I've done stuff on my own, but just like messing around with recording stuff and
Yeah.
editing it on my computer, but I haven't professionally been recorded
Okay.
anywhere. So I'm excited to
Somebody's
eventually do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scary sounds super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
His studio is just really fun. Like there's a couch in there.
How did you all, I'm curious, how did you all find each other? Was it like a flyer up at a coffee shop, or did you just meet each other and you decide like, oh, we have the same musical interests? I'm really curious how y'all came together.
Yeah, so I knew Veronica from work actually, and I reached out to her because I had tried to put together bands before.
Okay.
And it just never really worked out, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try one more time, and it's gonna be with all women. this time, to be
That
with
was
all women.
the difference. That was the first time you
Yes.
tried that. Okay.
And so I knew Veronica was a musician in town, and so I messaged her like, hey, do you know of any like other female musicians that might want to start a band? And I was not expecting her to be like, oh, me, you know?
Yeah.
But she was like, can I play bass? And I was like, sure,
Yeah.
you know,
And she was in
awesome.
Barabara at the time. when
Yeah.
This was happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you want to talk about Maya?
Yeah, I worked with Maya. She's not in the band now. I mean, obviously, but she, like, I heard that she played guitar. She like shreds guitar. She's
Yeah.
awesome. And so I worked with her, and she was like, "Do you want to start a punk band?" I was like, "Sure, yeah, why not?" And she knew my sister also played instruments, Maddie. And then she just put me and Maddie in a group chat with AJ and Veronica, and was like, "We're starting a band." And we were just talking, like they were like finding music that we had in common
Yeah.
and stuff. So she just threw us into that, and we were like, "Hi, we're
Like,
Coco and
this
Maddie."
is Coco and Maddie. They're
Wow.
gonna be playing whatever guitar and drums.
We're like, "Hi." So we just started coming up with, songs and like music that we had in common and
Yeah.
stuff. And we're like, we'll just start by playing covers just to get used to playing together.
Yeah.
So Maya was there for the first couple practices, and she had to drop out of the band because she had other stuff going on. But she kind of got us all together. She's the original Maxine. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So you naturally just had a lot of overlap in the music that you were listening to and that you wanted to play, which is easy.
Which
Yeah,
is really great.
You just had a
Well,
lot of 90s.
It's like, which influences
Yeah.
that
Well,
you
the-
had in common?
The covers we played were we did Rooster by Alice in Chains. We did Cherub Rock. No, we didn't. Did we do Cherub Rock by then?
No, we did. We did.
Cherub Rock,
yeah,
Smashing
yeah.
Pumpkins. We did Zombie by the Cranberries and
I've heard of
Bulls
that
on
one.
Parade. Yeah.
You did Bulls on Parade?
And then Bulls on Parade.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So that was kind of the genre we all had in common.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we just started playing covers together to get used to playing together. And
I
we
can
just
hear
started-
that in your music.
Yeah,
Now
oh,
that
that's
you say
perfect.
it.
Yeah.
It does come. I was trying to pinpoint
The
Where y'all
influence
from?
and stuff. Yeah.
the era or whatever.
Yeah.
The genre. Or something.
And we still try to add some covers to our set just because they're so fun to play.
I love
Oh, why not?
all these songs you just mentioned are like I was in high school in the 90s, and so all these songs I'm like, oh, I was coming up in real time like listening to all this. I love this.
Yeah.
But you guys obviously are all much younger. So
Yeah.
were you like children how did you
I
all
mean,
get into this 90s
Technically,
songs?
Coco and I are 90s kids because we were born in 98.
Yeah.
So technically, we're 90s. Yeah, our dad listened to like 90s
Yeah,
music and
parents.
stuff,
Okay.
so that's where
Parents
we
for
got.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
My sisters too.
Yeah,
I
your
remember
older
specifically
sisters.
being in the back. I was born in '89,
Okay.
so I remember being in the back of my sister's lime green Honda Civic, driving through our neighborhood, and she had Dookie on by Green Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
And-
first CD I ever bought.
Yeah, and so I remember just being in the back seat, just singing Green Day, and then also like Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill
Yeah.
is another
Sure.
huge one for me. Just brings nostalgia.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Have you ever thought of redoing some of those, but with a much heavier feel? You know what I mean?
I would
We
love
talked
to do
about
some
it.
covers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have talked about it, about taking a song that isn't
that you're
a song that
familiar
would be
with.
unexpected.
Right.
Yes,
You know,
a twist on it.
yeah, to make it a little
Yeah.
heavy or a little grungy.
Yeah.
That would be really fun to do.
I was gonna ask that, like, the philosophy about when you do covers, is it like, it seems like there's two really different tracks to go down. Like, either you do it, you really change it and make it your own, or you try to do it as close to the original so like people enjoy that as possible. I guess it's two philosophies about covers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might as well do it your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did our
I
own
mean-
version of Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah. We
Oh
did.
yeah, I forgot about that. Another brick in the wall.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh,
on
that's
this
cool.
album, Skin Tight?
Yeah.
Their album's
No?
all originals.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
sorry.
pure originals.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear it now.
You're saying,
that's
so
all.
when you guys were first together and you were practicing and getting to know each other, it was the covers that you were doing? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where were you rehearsing?
At Veronica's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In her living room.
Yeah, she's got it set up for the barrel practices.
all her
so,
instruments in
So
there.
the drums are already there. We didn't have to like lug a drum kit over there and
That's
practice,
amazing,
which
yeah.
is really good. We just had to bring my 60-pound amp.
Yeah.
Where do you rehearse now?
At the
in
twins'
our
house.
music room, which isn't even like a 10 by 10 room. It's like 9.5 by
Close
9.5.
and personal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Personal.
Yeah.
It's a little hot
Yeah,
in there.
it does get.
Oh.
You'll open the door.
It's a totally
leave
different
Oh my gosh.
factor.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, there's like cool air coming in now.
You've been
I didn't
generating a
realize
lot of
it was
excitement.
that
Yeah.
hot in that room.
So you guys, when if people haven't seen you play live in person, AJ, you have she's like very ferocious. It's very active, very acrobatic and athletic. And I didn't know if in rehearsal, is it like do you have to stay in shape in particular for all the things that you're doing on stage? Because it's very acrobatic.
We're like all
Are
sitting
you
down.
practicing?
No, I'm
Yeah.
like sitting down on the
Practice.
floor,
Okay.
like
It's
during
really
practice.
cozy.
And some people do practice that way. As people who like lead the band, just the band
Yeah.
in general, they will practice like how they perform it live.
Yeah.
I prefer not to do it that way because I feel like things can become too choreographed.
Okay.
And
Yes.
things can come across too inauthentic.
Yeah.
And I want to be, when I'm performing, I want to be the vessel of the song, and I want for the song to come out through me in an authentic way. And I don't want it to seem rehearsed.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
I
amazing.
want it to seem, I want it to even occasionally be messy. Like, you know, I
Like
don't
you trip over an amp
exactly.
or something.
Like I don't. I just want to.
Yeah.
I just want to be in it.
Is that art? So
You know?
now after when you perform the same songs like over and over, and you're still you try to do a different spin on it each time, and like especially if you have mega fans who are seeing you a bunch of times, you want to like keep it fresh for them.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, definitely. But I I live a very active lifestyle, so
So you're staying in shape.
You're
so
not
I
out
have
of breath
references.
on stage or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get out of breath. Sometimes I go a little too crazy.
I was
But-
wondering if there were any particular front women you were inspired by. I was thinking like Gwen Stefani. She was always super athletic in their performances.
Honestly, well, of course, I mean, it goes without saying Joan Jett. So, I mean, I could go on and on about Joan Jett.
Yeah.
But Madonna also is a really big one for me.
Cool.
A lot of that has to do with how she owns her sexuality and how she was...
She was bold.
She was very bold, and she was unapologetically bold.
Right.
Right.
And that's one thing that I really love and respect about Madonna as a performer.
Yeah.
She has a message.
That was an honesty.
Yes.
Yeah, and she took a lot of heat for that because there
She
wasn't
did,
a lot
and
of
she
people
didn't
doing
care.
that.
And she didn't care. She kept doing
Even
it.
better.
And even nowadays, like she's
Oh, yeah.
still doing that.
Yeah,
And
she's
I
like
just-
older, being sexual, and she's taking heat in a whole different way for it.
Exactly. And I don't think it's all about sexuality, but I do think that it is powerful for me as a woman to see another woman on stage owning her sexuality, because we're not supposed to do that, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's taboo. I mean, guys can go up there and, do whatever
Yeah,
they want,
they're
act however they
shirtless,
want,
right, yeah.
But like when women do it, it's quote unquote taboo. And so seeing that as a performer myself, seeing another performer just owning that and
Yeah.
just being so unapologetic about it, and like just not giving a fuck about what other people think or what they're gonna say or their
Yeah.
reaction. They're doing it solely for the art of it and solely for like their personal message because they're passionate about it. That's
Yeah.
really important to me. So definitely Madonna. Shirley Manson
Yeah,
of
love
Garbage
her.
is huge. Janet Jackson is another one. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah,
There are
it's really
so
I just like to think that it's gotten a little easier, but I know it hasn't, to be mislabeled or misconstrued, I guess. I don't know what the word is, but there were groundbreakers ahead to help out, but I know it's still stupid. I know.
Yeah. Did you have to,
Unfortunately,
in you
sorry.
guys' first performances, did anybody have stage fright at all? Or
I was
nervous?
terrified.
Still nervous? Yeah.
Really?
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was so scared my teeth were chattering.
Yeah.
And my legs were shaking.
Wow.
I was so scared.
What got you through that?
Just doing it.
Just doing it.
I mean, we
Yeah.
started with Bulls on Parade. That was
Yeah.
the first song we ever played live.
It's really heavy.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, all right, we're just gonna jump
And
into
people
it.
like
right in.
got up from the bar to like watch us, and they were like
I
just
bet.
super into it. So, I mean, for Coco and I mean, I guess for Emma too. We were in like concert band in high school and stuff. So
And we all played in the worship band at our church.
yeah,
So
so
we're
like
all
being
so
on
used to
stage
being
is like
yeah.
super normal for us, I guess.
Yeah.
I get nervous sometimes, like before like a solo, I guess, but for some reason, like I get anxious about going to hang out with my friends that I know I like hanging out with, but for some reason going on stage doesn't make me anxious, and I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
I'm not
It's like
complaining.
calming. Being on stage, like as soon as we're on stage, it's so fun. It just feels like a band practice that other people are hanging out and watching. It's just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I get more nervous as we're waiting to play.
Right.
But
Yeah,
as soon
the
as I get up
anticipation,
there,
yeah.
I'm like.
You're okay, yeah.
But there's like one song, "Letter to a Pill," that is so focused on the bass at times, and I wasn't
and Veronica
worried about,
wrote the original
yeah,
bass line for it.
I wasn't worried about playing like in front of people on stage. I was worried about messing up,
Right.
and everybody just noticing.
That song is your time to shine.
Exactly. I would
Yeah.
never, before that song, you just watch me like wipe my sweat all off my hands. I'm
Where is
so
that song
nervous.
placed in your lineup of songs when you perform? Do you like it toward the beginning or toward the end?
I think we normally do it right in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to start with it. I
Yeah.
want to be a little warmed up.
It's a
I'm fine
slower
with it
song,
now.
so we
Yeah.
don't always play it, but
Right.
we do. Yeah, we'll do it for some
Yeah.
special
Yeah.
shows. Yeah.
So you were used to performing in front of people, but in this like churchy, like stay kind
Yeah.
of performance, and
Yeah.
you really hadn't, AJ, like.
I had
Sung
done like
before?
some theater when I was in high school, and I had like karaoke. I mean,
Okay.
stuff like that. But
You haven't
I'd
sung in a band before.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
This is the first time where it's like actually been successful. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like we're
That's
in
right.
it,
You said
know?
you tried
And
to get
so-
bands together before, and it just didn't pan out.
Exactly,
What
exactly.
year was it that you guys were first playing live for people?
I think our first show was in
2021.
It was,
Oh,
but it was
okay.
December.
Yeah.
Our first
Interesting.
show was in December.
In the
so,
pandemic,
Yeah.
just coming out of okay.
Yeah.
So people were like
Yeah.
really excited to come out and see band. I'm sure that must have
Oh, I'm
been
sure.
a wild time. Yeah.
Yeah, we just played an open mic at Wormhole.
Oh.
Very, like that was kind of our. We were like, well,
That
what
was
should
your
we do for
intro?
our first performance? We were like, I guess if we just do an open mic, we can play our 3 covers because that's kind of all we had at the time.
Yeah. Did people go crazy for it when you?
Yeah.
They did. They were like up front headbanging with me.
Yeah.
Because everybody
I was
knows
like,
the
But
song.
Wormhole is a
Yeah.
great place. Every time I've gone there, they're playing like '90s covers, so that seems like a
It
great
was,
place
yeah,
for
it
you
was
guys
a
to play.
perfect place
It was
to play
perfect,
that.
yeah.
Like everyone comes up after like that's my favorite genre of music. Like that's my
Aw.
favorite era. Like
exciting.
it's everyone's favorite era of
Right.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
90s.
How did the writing songs process go? Does each person just write their own instrument, or is it collab? How does that work?
Or is it a mix?
I mean,
I feel like
We really-
it's kind of both.
Right.
Yeah.
Really.
I can't speak on the first album, but like right now, a lot of times Maddie will create a cool little guitar riff, and of course Maddie and Coco live together, so they can do whatever.
Just work on it.
Yeah,
and kinda
outside of
come
a
up-
practice.
yeah.
And everybody just kind of comes up with their own part as we continue to practice, and it might start a little more baseline and then you get more creative with it.
Yeah.
But we'll also listen to people and be like, it would be really cool if you did this, just as an idea of
Yeah,
listening
yeah,
to
suggestions.
it and not necessarily sticking to your own instrument.
Yeah.
I
They'll
think
kind of
it's a
start
really
off with
cool
like
way
a
to do
guitar
it.
riff is like
Yeah.
the beginning
Yeah,
of it.
and I'll like send it to AJ, and AJ will be like, "Oh, I've got lyrics for this or whatever."
Yeah,
and
we'll
I'll-
do a
Yeah.
little recording with guitar and drums. To
Yeah,
get,
so
like,
everybody can
more
get-
feel for it. I
yeah,
guess.
and I'll be like, "This part's kind of the chorus, and this part's the verse, but it doesn't have to say that way."
Yeah.
And then we'll just sort of change it and like work on it during practices, and come back to it the next week and completely change the whole thing.
Yeah. And then maybe the
Sometimes-
original turns into something later. I
Oh,
guess.
totally.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's all an evolution. Like
Yeah.
it's a song like from when it is started is completely different
That's so
at the very
funny.
end, which is so cool. It's
Wow.
so it's so cool to like listen back to some of the old.
Yeah.
That's what we
Yeah.
said we
songs.
wanted to do.
It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, that sounds so different.
And if we're not all like happy with one thing, like if there's one person who's not sure about something,
Yeah.
we'll try something else and like experiment, and we won't like move on until we're all happy with
Yeah,
it.
you'll fix
That's
it.
just really important to us, is
It's
that we're all
really important.
happy
Yeah.
with everything.
That's great.
We want everything to feel good, and we always are really open to everyone's ideas.
Organic.
Yeah,
Very
it's just
organic.
very organic. Like, hey, like, what if what if I went higher here in my vocal? What if I went lower? Like, what do y'all think? Like, it's very interactive.
This
and-
sounds so meditative.
It really is.
It's like you're putting your minds together in a meditative space.
Just four brains
Except it
melding
comes
together.
out doesn't sound meditative. That's fine. But that's okay.
Do you think part of it, because it's for women, the parts, do you think it tends to be more collaborative?
It definitely
Because of
feels
that.
like there's more like we're open to each other's ideas and stuff, and
and
we're
everyone's
not,
listening. You know?
yeah, we're not shooting down each other's ideas. It's
Right.
like even if it's a bad idea, we're still gonna try it and
Yeah.
see how
and
it
sometimes
sounds.
we like it. Sometimes we're
And
like, oh, that's
sometimes
gonna
we
sound
like it.
horrible, but we'll
Right.
try it. And then we
Yeah.
try. We're like, actually.
Yeah, you have a
Yeah.
happy accident.
And it's just
Yeah.
cool. Like it's a really comfortable space where you don't feel like it's a bad idea to give any sort of suggestion.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like an improv troupe working together. You have
Yeah.
to really trust each other. You're going to like try something weird that might be embarrassing, but yeah.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's the way it should be.
you to write the lyrics for a song?
Or do they come first sometimes,
Well,
or do they come later?
sometimes
Or,
they do.
or
Like,
then
there's
you
some,
vary it.
There are some songs, like The Watcher, I had the lyrics for The Watcher. But then so it's kind of like, sometimes they'll start with lyrics, and then everything else will kind of come into place.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll take me, like, it'll lightning strike me almost.
Yeah.
And I have
Yeah.
like an entire song. And then sometimes I'm like, God, I cannot figure out the lyrics to go with this.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that I want to say, and I just don't even know how to like put it all in one
And that's
song,
when you
know?
start lighting candles.
How did you know?
I gropped. I understood.
Is that what you do? Do you light a candle
Sometimes,
when you
yeah,
need?
why not?
When you're stuck.
I eat a crystal. I'm good.
There you go.
Yeah.
How do you? I was curious for each of you, like the balance between like writing and practicing and performing. How much do each of you like these sort of like different aspects of being in a band? Like for artists, how some people
Okay.
like really love making art, but maybe
Okay.
you hate being in a
Oh, yeah.
gallery reception and talking to people, and
Okay.
you don't like that aspect. So I'm wondering
I see
for
what
like
you're saying.
musicians, if like
Yeah.
maybe some musicians like the background part of it, the creating of it, the creativity, and some people really like the performative
And
aspect
then,
of
ooh,
it.
I've got to be around people.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think there's
Yeah.
great things about every part because
Yeah.
when we are writing it, you get so excited about certain parts and you're like, wow, like I can't wait for this to all come together. And then performing it is a whole nother thing because then you get to take what you just spent so much time on and show it to people and see what they think.
You
And
get to see
just
their
practicing,
reactions.
Yeah.
we all really enjoy being around each other. And so we're also like hanging out while we're playing instruments, and we love playing instruments. So
Yeah.
every part is really enjoyable, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
Totally.
Especially because like we're putting so much love into like this one song or one album or
Yeah.
whatever. We're putting so much time and effort and love into it, and it's such a vulnerable space that like sharing it with people, you just get so excited for people to just hear it. It's almost a release. I feel like, I don't know if y'all feel that same way, but it's
Yeah.
like when you play a new song live that you've been working so hard on, like when we play Bloodstains for the first time, which is our new song.
New song.
When we play Bloodstains for the first time live, it's just that feeling. It's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
exposing this.
Yeah.
I'm putting this out into the air.
Yeah.
It's like no longer close to me anymore. It's like out there now.
Like this
That's
is
so
new
really
to everyone
exciting.
out there.
Yeah.
It's like brand new stuff.
Now it's decorating space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
like
that's what
premiering a
music-
new painting that we finished. or
Well, that's
something.
what music
Yeah.
does. Music decorates space. Art decorates time. Or, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, like sharing our new songs with people and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because up until this point, I've been playing the original songs that I did not write.
Right.
And Veronica is very talented. I actually learned quite a lot from learning her bass lines. But number one, it's not going to be as hard to memorize how to play a song because I actually wrote it myself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And just, I
Oh,
never
and there's
wanna
so many
say-
variations that you had while you were
Right.
writing it that
Right.
sometimes they come back.
I really stuck to what she wrote and wanted to play exactly that because I wanted to honor the work she did
Yeah.
and her being in the band at the start of it. But now, like, we are no two artists are gonna write the same way, so I get to kind of show my aspect of how I play bass and still at the same time honor all the work that she did because
Yeah.
I'll keep playing her part of the original songs. So it's cool to in the future be able to
Yeah.
perform stuff that I've actually
Yeah.
written.
Yeah.
So all the Skin Tight songs were Veronica
Yes.
creative
Yeah.
ones, and all your future albums will be you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay. It looks like you guys recently played a show in Athens. Is that right?
Yeah,
Is that
we
how,
did.
you went on tour a little bit?
Yeah.
How'd that go? Yeah. Yeah. Any weird
Well
surprises
received.
from the road? How was that? It's
It
a
was
lot-
so much
interesting.
fun.
Did
It
you
was
have-
lots of fun. We had lots of
Yes.
fun.
We had
Yeah?
a lot of fun.
Did you have a
Yeah.
van, a bus? How'd you go?
We had multiple cars.
flew?
Okay.
Yeah.
Stuffed
Did you
full.
fly?
Stuffed full.
Yeah, we did. We
Actually,
drove the whole time.
None of us took a car.
No, we
used
took
the
we took
other-
our mom.
Oh,
We took
yeah,
our mom's
yeah,
car.
your mom's car.
Yeah.
But my car has over 300,000 miles on it, and
We just have our band has the most
Yeah.
unreliable cars.
AJ
I
is
guess.
Oh.
a Fiat. Like you can put one person in their
Oh.
seat there.
Yeah.
And then
Although
pile
it gets
everything on the
great
top.
gas
yeah.
mileage.
Right.
But it's also
So
being feisty and acting on
we
it.
toured with another local band, Necromance, and
Oh,
it's
cool.
funny. We showed up we met up on the first day that we were gonna drive to North Carolina, and their band had 2 cars, and we had 1 car that could seat 3 people because we jam packed it with all of our stuff.
You guys had the drum kit.
We had the
Yeah,
drum
which
kit in our
takes a
car,
lot.
and then
Yeah.
all our luggage, and then instruments and stuff. And we ended up having the other band, Necromance, they had to bring 3 cars in total because
Wow.
we realized we didn't have enough space for everybody.
wow.
we,
Yeah.
we all met at the gas
we had
station.
9 people, right? Or 10 people.
10.
We had 10 people.
10 people.
Wow.
Because 4 people for each band, and then a roadie for each band.
And
Oh.
Thank God for the roadies. Oh
Yes.
my God.
That sounds so professional. You
so
roadie.
helpful.
Wow.
because
So you
we,
had a little caravan
we really wanted to
driving.
have someone at our merch table at all times. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes for shows we can kind of go back and forth, but we wanted
Sure.
we knew that was going to be our main way of making money on
Yeah.
tour was selling T-shirts. So we
Sure.
wanted to have someone just always there, and our roadies were awesome. We love them.
Yeah, they
How-
helped
so
with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, loading in and just everything. They were super
How long was the tour?
It's about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. How many shows was that?
9.
Wow, that's
9
great.
shows.
Yeah.
9 songs. 9 shows.
We should write a song about that,
There we go.
actually.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Everyone in our band and in Necromance,
Yeah.
we're all yeah, that was the best 2 weeks ever.
It was a good duo. You could do that combination again.
Yeah,
Or-
totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
totally.
mean,
We
we all
all
hang
get along,
out,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
How did you organize that? There must be a lot of logistics and planning.
Well, what time
How
of
did
the
you do
year?
that?
Also, if you don't mind me asking, what time of year was this?
That
So
was
we went in November, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went in November. I organized the tour.
AJ did everything.
Okay.
And
you had to
And that
find all the
includes
shows.
Airbnbs and stuff.
Yeah.
AJ did everything.
You did all that?
I did all of it,
Okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
you're the office manager for the band.
basically. But
Never again.
yes, I was like, I will totally go on tour for 2 weeks, but I'm never planning
Yeah.
we
to
wanted to try it. We wanted to try doing it ourselves.
Oh my
And you
Or
God.
at
killed
least
it.
spread it
Yeah, it
around
was
the
awesome.
floor. the
AJ
work, right?
killed it.
There
but
was
it
no point where we were like, what are we supposed to do now?
Yeah.
She had it
Yeah.
completely
And we played
together.
with mostly female-fronted bands, which is really cool.
That was really
Okay.
important to me when I was sourcing the bands. I really wanted to look for bands that had either a female musician or female fronted, and I'm really, really proud to say that most of the bands
That's
that we
awesome.
played with
Yeah, I don't
during
know
the whole
Necromance.
tour
Are they-
are female fronted.
Yeah.
Which is really
Who had to get the word out in each town to get people to come?
so
It seems
that's
like a lot.
what's so tricky, and I am really, really glad. It's like Coco said, really glad that we planned the tour. We decided to go that route versus a manager for the first time, and I'm really glad that I got to experience the whole situation of how important it is for touring bands, for the venues, and for the bands that are local to promote the shows.
Yeah.
Because there are some venues that we played at that just did not promote, and so there wasn't a good turnout. But we promoted, but
There's
only so much
nobody
goes.
knows
Yeah.
who we are.
Right. It's not like
Right.
you don't have social media followers.
Exactly,
That's how you've never been to.
Exactly. So it kind of, I can totally see how important it is now for whenever a touring band is coming into Savannah and we're on
Yeah.
the bill with them. We are really good at promoting shows now, but we really try to promote them more now. And
Yeah,
be
it's
more
nice.
intentional, even more, just because we just know what it's like for
To be
bands
the
to just not
out-of-towners.
promote, or it's really important.
Yeah,
So
it's almost like in the
venues, get
future,
on it.
like when you do tours, it's like you have to do research into each club before you book it to see whether that club is good at promoting people. It's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's
A
so
lot of
hard
recon.
too is that venues don't get back to you. They don't. I would send out, just for one town, I would send out maybe 10 or 12 emails out to every single venue I could possibly send to.
Yeah.
That plus an Instagram message. And most of the time, I would not
You
get an
get
answer.
0 out of 12.
So really, you had to just take what you got.
Wow.
You know.
Okay.
So
But Everywhere was a really cool place.
Yeah, all the venues are really cool.
Yeah.
The bands we played with were awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We made some really cool connections with some of the bands
Yeah.
that we played with.
Were there any towns in particular that you feel like really responded to your music?
I mean, our very last show was
Yeah.
was awesome, which was
Athens
in
was
Athens. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
great at
Yeah,
CNA.
so
Yeah.
fun.
God, it was so cool.
Especially if it's while UJ is in session. I would think if the kids aren't in Athens, then it's like a ghost town. But while the kids are there, it's amazing.
I was going
right?
to say, was it the turnout or the vibe or both?
Oh, really? Yeah.
There were some Savannah people who came too,
Oh, that's
because
so
it was our
nice.
last show of the tour.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
such a
really
cool
fun
city.
having a ton of familiar faces. and
Yeah.
stuff.
When you're in town, how do you divvy up all the work of management of a band? Because I know as being like, almost being professional artists, there's a lot of work you do that is not just painting. There's a lot of extra stuff. How do you
Right.
guys divvy up all the work?
We all have like different responsibilities. Like Coco and I do all of our merch. Like we print our own merch.
Oh,
We do screen
Like
printing.
we screen print it,
wow.
and
Which is a lot of work.
it is a lot of work. And because we're twins and our brains are connected, it makes it easier
it a
and less
lot
frustrating.
Yes, you're Siamese twins. We should get this out of the way. Joined at the brain.
So it makes it a lot easier. But yeah, we just take care of like making sure the merch is in stock and stuff. But then AJ does all the Instagram and like messaging people and stuff. And we've never really, other than tour, we've never had to plan our own shows really, other than our album release, of course.
Okay.
But that would definitely be a lot of work to plan a show. Luckily, we get a lot of people asking us to play shows.
Oh, here in town,
so
they're reaching
it's-
out to you.
Yeah, so we just kind of say yes and they get the venue and stuff, which is a lot easier. But AJ does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, which is great because
Yeah.
that sort of stuff stresses me out.
Yeah. We're like, we got the merch. AJ, you talk to everyone, please.
Yeah. Are you guys designing the shirts and thing and the
Yeah,
CDs?
we like
all
design
the
them
time?
and make the screens and stuff. We just found out how to do it ourselves because, I mean, we just like trying stuff ourselves before trying to get somebody else to do it for us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
Excellent.
we're like, we just want to try it out, and then some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. But
Yeah.
So did you already have screen printing set up, or you've
no, we
done all that just from the band?
we just we learned
Our
how to
very
do it
first
for the
design
band.
was just like cutting a stencil out of cardboard and spraying it and realizing, I mean, they looked okay. They looked very like
very
DIY punk,
Yeah.
I guess,
Sure.
which people liked, but we weren't super happy with it. We were like, hey, we need to find something that makes more sense. Because then, like, the stencil was not usable after that.
Yeah.
Either, 'cause it's
Yeah.
like wet from the
Right.
the fabric
Yeah,
spray or
it's just
whatever.
bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
So we were like, we need to just figure out. I can't remember if I watched YouTube videos or
We just figured out how to
trial and
screen
error,
print.
stuff like that. It's pretty easy for us to like make a screen
Single
now,
screen
but
or
Yeah.
multi?
we would just do
one screen at a time for like one screen for every different
and we just do
design.
black T-shirts with white ink because that's kind of
It stands out well.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's also
Yeah.
the best that we can do.
Yeah.
Anything more complicated than that would just be like too many steps or like
Yeah.
we would I don't know we would put it in somebody
It's already
else's
hard
fancy
enough
cup.
as it is trying to do it. So
Right.
like just keep it simple, just white ink, black
Yeah.
shirts.
But our method works and it's fun to have like our merch. We made all of our merch and when we design stickers we design them ourselves.
Oh.
So
How do you get the CDs made?
we got that done on like disc, it's called like Disc Maker or something, like on the website. It was a very long process
Really?
because like making the booklet, doing the art for the booklet,
Yeah.
we would send it out and they'd be like, oh, the resolution for this is not high enough. And then
We had to keep calling the guy and like they were being really helpful, but
they
it
were
just
really
took
really
so
helpful,
long.
but the website just
picture
wasn't
frame ratio
great.
is
It was
off.
like,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
like, this
familiar.
might be cut off a bit, and we're like, oh, okay, let us
And we
change
ended
it.
up getting the CDs delivered the day of our album release show.
Wow.
The
That's
day
stressful.
of.
The
Yeah.
afternoon of.
I know you were sweating.
I think they
Yeah.
got delivered like
It was like at noon.
it was like right before, like right as everyone was like setting up or
What,
something.
they
Yeah.
bring
And
it to the
even-
stage?
No, we were waiting at our house for them, and
Oh,
then
okay.
had to drive.
Even
you know,
then, it
everything
was like
over there.
still nerve wracking because I was like, I have no idea if the booklet even looks good. I
Yeah.
don't know if anything
Yeah.
looks right, and they look awesome.
look
We were
so
really
good.
happy
That's
with
amazing.
that.
Yeah.
So relieving, but
That was something we really wanted was CDs because I mean we all love CDs.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
we got
need to
I
have
think
a
we got
physical copy.
100 CDs or
Yeah.
something, and we still haven't sold out of all of them. But it was
Okay.
mostly for us. We just
was for
wanted
us.
CDs. I was like, I need a physical copy of this. I don't care if nobody buys them.
Sure.
They drive a CRV. What year is it?
2004.
2004. So there's
CRV.
no
CD.
Bluetooth.
So we don't
They
have
a
Bluetooth.
CD
We've
case.
just got
Cool.
So
You have that car,
CDs
that
are
soft
important
pack
to
of
us.
CDs in your
That's
car.
great.
yeah, CDs are important to us.
But soon we are, well, not soon. Now we have a band manager,
Yes.
which is so
It's like
exciting.
brand new
as of this
thing?
week.
as
like,
of,
as
like,
of,
the
like,
other
yeah.
day.
Who's your manager?
Her name is Sophia.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's reached out to us before about managing us, but we didn't feel like we were necessarily like at that point yet.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Now you're at
after
that
the
point.
tour. After the
Yeah.
tour, I was like,
Oh.
really, maybe we should get a manager, you know.
Yeah.
And then she had like reached out to me and was like, hey, I just wanted to, see if y'all needed a manager.
Yeah.
You know. And I was like, this is perfect timing.
Yeah.
It's like absolutely perfect, and she is wonderful,
Yeah.
and we're so excited to be managed.
What is she gonna do for you?
We're about to find out. We're
Okay.
gonna meet with her.
Yeah.
Take over the social media.
Yeah, she's gonna do a lot. It's just
Yeah.
such
And a lot of the stuff you were talking about, pre-selecting the venues, making
Yeah,
sure
absolutely.
Yeah, all that
Help with the
administrative
shows
work.
and, like,
That
if
way
we
you
wanted
can
to
concentrate
do-
on your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we wanted to do merch, like if people could order it online, because we have like Coco and I are from Canada, so we have our friends and family in Canada who want T-shirts and stuff, and just people in other countries. I'm like, I want them to just be able to order it online or something.
Yeah.
Instead of
like,
us trying to organize sending it to them and stuff.
Right.
and then organize
You're not
getting
the
paid
warehouse.
for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, like saving ourselves time is just would be really cool. So
yeah.
I did want to ask each of you if you have any other creative ventures that you do other than music. AJ, I know you do awesome watercolor art as well. Yeah.
I mean, we're artists. Me and Maddie are artists.
we just
but
kind of do it in our free time, not like. I mean, we don't even really do it in our free time, honestly. Music is
know
kind
how to
of
draw.
our,
Yeah, it really is.
music
just
is our
music.
main thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will interject there. They're incredible chefs.
Oh.
True.
Maddie is an incredible baker.
Very cool.
Coco is an incredible chef. So, and I think that's an art.
Wow.
That is an art.
Absolutely.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
just, I mean,
So the two of you living together, you have like the meal and the dessert
Yeah.
it's
taken care of.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It is an art.
It is.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that is how we spend most of our free time, either playing music or cooking food.
Cooking,
Or
yeah.
or researching both.
Teaching
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
how to screen
Listen,
print.
yeah.
I don't have enough free time really to do anything. I am a mechanic, so I work
Are
on
you?
cars, and then after work I work on cars.
That's an art too.
That's very
It's
cool.
definitely something.
It's definitely important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So that takes up quite a bit of my time. And,
Emma always comes to band practice
in my
her work
uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually showering before this, and I was like, I'm trying so hard to get the grease off
Grease
my arm
everywhere.
right now. That's been there for 3 days.
I feel like
somehow.
coveralls would be a cool look for
We've
performing.
actually we've joked about.
We
coveralls
want to do that at
before.
one point, or wearing like
Yeah.
we've been trying to find just like those blue like mechanic work shirts, and I
Yeah.
want to get little
Yes.
name tags that say Maxine.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And I did,
Oh, that's
I
great.
did, I did order some,
Like a
but they came
garage
too
shirt.
small, so I need to
Yeah.
buy
They're
some.
so tiny.
Yeah.
But I really want us
Oh,
all
right.
to be wearing like coveralls or just like those work shirts and have
Yes.
like Maxine name
Yeah.
tags
It'd be
on
so
there.
cool to sell those.
Yes.
It would be fun
Yeah.
to sell those too.
You
Also,
might
I will
need
say-
the hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Trucker hats.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
representative of someone who went to high school in the 90s, the shirts were incredibly popular. All the guys were,
Yes.
and like wallet chains.
I'd wear
was
one.
a huge thing.
Yeah. We gotta get on that.
Yeah.
Well, now that we have a manager, we'll have hopefully more free time
free
to do
time.
that sort
I
of thing.
know. I'm so excited.
How did you? I was curious. So your aesthetic, like the photos in your album, how do you plan all that out? Like the visual aspects of your band too, and the photography of your shows and everything. You have such a strong aesthetic. How do you enjoy doing all
Do you
that?
do
How
a
does that
lot of
interest-
that,
boards?
or is
Yeah.
it contributed?
Do you do Pinterest boards?
Yeah, we share Pinterest boards of like
Yeah.
ideas
Oh, okay.
and stuff. We just like we're like this makeup look is really cool. We should all do this for a show sometime.
Oh,
like
okay.
that sort of thing. So we just share.
You'll change
Why
for
not?
each show.
The
Whatever
great thing
cool
is-
inspiration.
Like we all like the same stuff. You
Yeah.
know, like
We're all
so it's
all the
really
same
We like always wear black.
Yeah, it's just it just works.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy to do.
Yeah.
It just really works. Like we'll have an idea for a photo shoot, and everyone's like, "Oh, I love this idea. Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it." You know.
Do you have
Um,
certain photographer friends that you like to work with
Yes.
for things?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Jordan Mount. She's the one that shot our our cover. For
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
very fiery looking. It's all black, orange, red. Yeah.
Yes.
Which
So
is also
she's-
very grungy, like the
Yeah.
orange. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of people that come to shows that are really incredible photographers.
That's
Yeah.
what I was wondering.
Yeah.
If you had
Yeah.
contributions.
And we don't even have to ask. Like they
You just get great
want
photos.
to get
Yeah, a lot
great
of times
photos
they
of
do
us.
it for free, but then we'll also like Kaz has done. He like shot a bunch of our shows like for free, and we were like, okay, well, we need to do a photo shoot with you and pay you because his photos just always turn out so cool, and
Yeah,
that's
so
the
then you
really
have
the
to
pictures
to
to
pay you.
Yeah.
Please let us pay you.
Yeah, it's amazing the photographers that'll take like these amazing pictures and just do it for free. At
Yeah.
shows. Like they pay to get into the show, and they still take the time to edit those pictures for the bands.
Wow.
There's a lot of really good photographers in Savannah.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about living here is like there's artists, there's graphic designers, there's photographers everywhere. It's
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah. I know Sarah Kuda, I don't know if you know her. I think she's a band photographer too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always remember I interviewed her and her name, she was like, it rhymes with Barracuda, like hard.
It does.
Yeah.
It's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. And you, AJ, I should say, are you the owner, co-owner of House of Strut?
Oh, I'm just a manager.
Okay.
I'm just a manager.
Okay.
Yeah, I've worked there for years and I love it.
So you've
but
access to so much amazing clothes there.
yes,
Yeah.
totally.
Maddie actually wore some House of Strut stuff for their album.
Oh yeah,
The
for our album release,
yeah,
I wore.
your fit was House of Strut, right?
Yeah, and I was wearing leather pants and a leather vest. And they
It was
were
gonna be
so
like
sick.
you wore the leather pants and I wore the leather vest,
We all
and then
wanted
you
to have
tried on
leather
both
stuff.
of them, and
Yeah.
you were like, "Okay, I gotta
Wow.
wear both of these." I don't even remember what I wore because your outfit was so cool.
So amazing.
So awesome.
How easy was that to move around in?
I mean, it was like really soft leather because it was like, it's just
Nice.
like really good quality stuff. It wasn't like creaky
Right.
sort of leather. It was like a really soft type. I don't really wear leather stuff that often, but it was
That's
fun to
very
wear that
cool.
on stage.
Get you out of my head. Do you remember what I said?
What was your tell us about your album release party? What was that?
It was so amazing.
It was
It was like
unbelievable.
it was like the dream
was
dream
unreal.
show.
Where did you do
Unreal.
that?
It was at Southbound Brewery.
Okay,
And
nice.
Tim from Coastal Rock Productions or Warfest, he helped us organize it, and he was so great to work with.
Yeah. I guess you had space for a good amount of people there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
It was
an
packed.
amazing
Yeah.
turnout.
How many bands did we have?
We had
Seven or eight.
bands.
Oh, you had a festival.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
festival.
wow.
we did a mini
Yeah, we
fest.
called it Bash. It was the album
Album
release Bash. Yeah. it
With some
was
of our
so-
favorite local bands playing and stuff. It was just
Yeah.
cool to pick like our favorite bands to play with, I guess, and like because that was our first show we ever organized ourselves. Or I mean, AJ did basically everything. I feel like I can't even take credit for it.
Yeah.
We all
but
contributed in some way.
but it was just like the perfect show.
I like to talk about the album release because it was the last show Veronica played. So I was
Oh.
there. I actually got so sad at the point I realized, like, oh my gosh, I can't watch them play anymore. Like, it's so fun to
Oh.
be in the crowd. And everybody is so excited. Everybody was moving the little barriers that they had. They were just
Barricades, yeah.
shaking the hell out of them. And it was the one show that I've ever been to locally where everything was so put together. Thanks to AJ, I guess. It was like she had
And
a
Tim, and Tim.
poster.
And Tim,
yes.
yeah.
She had a poster on the front door and random places that would say the time of each band that's going to play, and it was absolutely on.
Oh.
It's never like that.
Were you like stage managing behind the scenes? Were you moving it along?
I actually, the day of, I didn't really have to do much of that. Tim
did everything,
Really,
yeah.
the day
Amazing.
of was like on it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is so nice to not have to worry about that sort of stuff on the
Yeah.
day, like the day of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't running around getting stuff done, other than like waiting for the CDs to come in. That was like the only really stressful part of the day. Everything else just
It went so
really
smoothly.
And
smoothly.
then the actual
yeah.
show was great.
Yeah.
So much fun.
That's very cool.
It sounds like everything comes together organically for you, most every facet of
does.
this.
It just works out.
We got really lucky.
Yeah.
we did, yeah.
No, that's a great thing because I mean that means you're doing the right thing,
Yeah.
obviously, and it sounds great, like I said. And when you get bigger, you have a mechanic for the bus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Wild.
that came together well.
We got the cooks.
The cook.
Got the
Well,
cooks.
yeah.
You got it all. You got it going.
AJ
AJ
cooks
really
too.
can cook.
AJ
Yeah.
cooks too, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got
We
it
got
going
all of
on.
them.
So that's
Yeah.
great. I mean,
Are you creatively? Are there any other directions or experiments that you're looking forward to trying on this new album?
Oh,
I mean,
we're
I wouldn't
so
say new album because
excited.
you're still. It's exciting. You just released now, but whatever
Yeah.
you're writing now.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely feels like the songs we're writing, we're like, this is for our next album. I have
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
idea when it's going to come out, but
Right.
We know
right.
it's the next album.
yeah.
There's different things that I think everybody is trying to bring forward. AJ's doing a lot of new vocal things. I don't
Yeah?
know the correct words.
Yeah.
Experimenting with some
I
things.
didn't even know you could strum the bass, so I'm trying. I figured that out by playing our cover the bit on tour, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And it
Cool.
sounds so heavy, so I'm trying to do stuff like that.
And you've got a pedal now. Distortion
Yeah,
pedal.
I have one pedal.
Are pedals really expensive? Is it like,
They can definitely get there.
Yeah.
But I don't think Veronica used pedals, right?
She did. She had one fuzz pedal,
Fuzz
yeah.
pedal. Okay, so I have
Like a tuner in the
something
fuzz
kind of
pedal.
like that.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
I also really like just the way the regular sound of the bass came out.
Yeah.
I think it sounded fine to me, so I wasn't in a rush to do that kind of thing.
yeah.
But everybody is kind of trying to figure out new things to bring forward, and I think it sounds
New ways to
awesome.
play around
So,
on your instruments. I love
yeah.
that.
I
Yeah.
definitely want to sound like more metal, just because
Yeah.
I mean, I just love metal. That's why. But like trying to
Yeah.
go heavier, I guess, because I mean we already have like some heavier songs like Cannibal and I guess Salmon Pants. Like we have some
Yeah.
songs that get heavy, but I'm like I want to have more
Yeah.
heavy songs.
Who
more
are
heavy
who are your
songs.
favorite metal bands?
Like classic metal band, like System of a Down, like love them. I don't know, Maddie, what else?
I don't know. I'm so
Like
it's
Tool,
always my favorite
Tool.
band.
Oh,
like
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
when you think of like 90s
Newer bands
metal,
like
that
Rock
kind of
Blues
stuff.
and
I was
stuff.
so afraid
Yeah,
you were going to
not
talk
loose.
about bands I didn't know. So thank you.
No, like the metal bands. Everyone
Not super
knows.
underground
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah,
but-
nothing.
I like
too
imagining you
underground.
guys like playing like 9 Inch Nails, where you're like baking cupcakes or
Oh
something.
Exactly.
gosh.
Actually,
It's
that's
cute.
exactly
Imagine
what
your
we do.
house. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's entirely
Nine Inch
accurate.
Nails.
That'd be a
Oh
good
my
video
God.
on itself, by the way. You should bake and have the.
I thought of that. I thought it would be cool to like get like from the security camera point of view in like a bakery or
fun.
something.
Yeah.
Us- or like in a kitchen or something like that,
I
doing
like
a video
that.
where
That's
we're
funny.
just cooking and baking or just doing our jobs and having the music over.
Yeah.
But yes, I think, especially when it comes to dabbling into new things, the vocal aspect of it, I've really been listening to a lot of System of a Down, and I really love some of the vocals and the harmonies.
Yeah.
So we're kind of playing with some
Yeah.
harmonies, which is really cool.
Yeah,
Or
Alice
vocals.
in Chains is another one.
Alice in
Their
Chains.
Oh yeah,
harmonies
they do a lot of
are really
harmonies.
awesome.
Do you all, when you guys are playing, do you all do background vocals?
No, we
we've
just
never
have-
done that
Ah.
before.
Yeah.
This is like a brand new thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to play around with that.
You guys are ready to sing in public?
Singing and playing.
I feel like as the drummer like has like the best excuse to not have to sing.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's the
That
hardest
could
one.
be fun though.
Yeah.
I mean, we do eventually want to switch instruments because
Yes.
we can all, or the three of us can play each other's instruments.
That's
Green-
very cool.
Green
We
Day
can
did
swap
that a
around.
lot,
Play, like,
That's
right?
really
guitar,
cool.
bass,
Yeah.
and drums,
I love that.
basically. So it would be fun to switch for at least like a cover or something.
Necromance
Would be fun
does
to
that
switch.
a lot. That's
Yeah,
why we're
they
like,
switch
we
on
really
stage.
want to
We're
do
like,
it
okay, we
too.
gotta do that.
But
That
I'm not.
sounds like
I'm
so
not
much
saying
fun.
do it as a gimmick, but
Oh,
just
yeah.
because it.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
see
fun
if
to
it works.
play.
Keep it fresh.
I mean, yeah, like
Yeah.
if Emma writes a song on guitar, then I'm not gonna be like, okay, well, I'm gonna play the guitar. I'll be
Right.
like, you
Like,
wrote it,
let's
you
switch.
play it, and I'll just play bass for that song.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really fun to try that sometime.
Yeah.
You're all too easygoing.
We really are.
Which makes it hard to
decide
make
about
decisions
anything.
sometimes.
Well,
Even just coming to this interview, we were like, so whose car are we going to take?
Yeah.
So should we take, well, we can take your car.
we can take my car. It doesn't matter to me.
Like, should we get food? No, well, we can get food if you
Where
want
do you
to.
guys
I don't know. How do you feel about food?
I'm so intrigued by the fact that you're a mechanic in your daily life. I didn't know if there's any car sounds we can bring in to recording too. There's so much machinery, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Like the one that
there's
was
so
just
many
out
different-
here.
Just the basic.
Exactly. That would be cool. That's a great idea. I don't think any of us have thought
really
about
cool
that
idea.
before.
Yeah.
Is it a nail gun or like an air gun or something that makes that cool like shoot like that? The sound of that.
Yeah,
that
it's
sound.
impact gun.
Oh, I saw this
Yeah.
great
And mine is
Swedish
so loud.
movie who used, and the
Perfect.
people
We'll
came
use
in to different homes. They would break into homes and go into the kitchen and use the different things in the kitchen to make music. Like they'd hit a clock. And they, the one scene that really got me at the beginning was they're driving down the road and you hit the bumps on the highway, and they would do that, but there was a drummer in the back of the van. And while they were hitting the bumps on the driveway, that made a rhythm, and then the drummer started, and then they sang with it, but nothing sensical, but it just sounded so cool. And they were just experimenting and going along with what they could find and see what would happen, you know,
That sounds like fun.
which
You gotta
is
get
the most
experimental
fun.
with some like some sound
Some
effects,
Don
some
Like-
non-instruments.
Yeah. Or like there's I don't know if you guys have seen Oke Go music videos.
Yes.
How they do. There's one where they're in the car and they're like driving, and it's like I don't know. You have to watch it. What's the
It's
song?
Needing and Getting.
Needing Getting is the song.
I
But
think
they're-
they got inspired from that Swedish movie I saw.
Oh yeah, so
Must have
they're driving the car and there's like a stick that's sticking out of the car with a guitar pick on it, and they
Right.
have like 100 guitars lined up on the fence that are tuned to the chords. So they're driving past the guitar, they're driving past the fence and it's strumming the guitars, and the guy's in the backseat with the ukulele, and somebody's like
Wow.
hitting, like opening and closing the door of the car or something to
sound
make the
effects.
Right.
song, to
Wow.
recreate the song.
That's wild.
Wouldn't you
Yeah.
love to do that though?
But
I mean,
imagine the planning.
Amazed by all
like,
the-
yeah, all their
God.
music videos are so cool. I can't
Wow.
imagine the
Yeah.
planning that goes behind them, and like the timing and stuff. But
That reminds me like when people set up those extremely elaborate things of like the dominoes standing up and you
That-
hit
yeah.
one and it has to be
yeah,
set
they
up
have,
perfectly.
Yeah,
for
they
them to
have
all
one
knock
music
down.
video
one of
with
the
like that
music
thing.
Oh,
Like the chain reaction. There's a name for it, but it's like that whole chain reaction thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
So they're
suggest
planners,
sometime
these people.
Yeah.
to use a megaphone.
We have.
Have
we
you?
have
Tried.
it
It
once.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Tried.
we used it once.
Yeah.
That was
like,
enough?
Like Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, I'm not saying it's
You could always use a
but-
megaphone.
Really, I didn't even know that. I love that.
We definitely
love
brought it
Sam.
with
Okay.
us on tour and didn't
And
use
just
it.
never used it.
I think we tried it one time.
We tried it in our practice. I don't remember.
feel like we
doing
tried it
on
on
Oh, we
stage.
did do it
did
in
it on
practice
stage
because you
once.
didn't have. We didn't
mic
have a
yet.
way for you to set up your microphone at that point in our
Yeah.
practice room, and then I realized like partway through we were playing Burn or something, and I was
Yeah.
like, wait, we have a megaphone in the room. Let's just use that. So we did the practice where AJ was
That's
singing through the
great.
megaphone.
Yeah.
And we were just
Singing
and it
Burn,
sounded
it was
so
so
perfect for
Yeah.
Burn as
Yeah.
well.
That's great.
It is a cool. It's like distortion, like a distortion
Yeah.
pedal for your voice,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If I remember the Stone Temple
Yeah.
Pilots guy.
Which you have.
I wanted to ask you, since you were talking about like getting more metal for the next album, are there things you have to do to take care of your voice or to like learn how to sing metal and not destroy yourself?
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to be really careful. It's all about placement, and you definitely have to take care of your voice. Like
Yeah.
you can't have certain like acidic foods, and you have to like.
Oh,
eat-
really?
You can't like eat a certain amount of time before bed, and you have to
Wow.
steam your voice, and you have to. I mean, there's a lot to it. Yeah.
On
Like,
tour, you had to be really careful.
be really careful.
I
and-
thought you just drank some honey and you're fine.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly, but yeah, you have to like constantly be drinking water. You can't, drink a ton of alcohol. You have to sleep. Sleep is like the most
Wow.
important thing. So
All this seems
there's a
so
lot.
not rock and roll.
I know. It's like, and it's so
Taking care
funny
of
because
yourself.
I've listened to podcasts before, like Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm, and how she talks about how like, sometimes she feels a little like lame because she can't go out with the band sometimes afterwards. Like,
Wow,
so she
that's
has to like
interesting.
go to bed, and like since she's fronting the band, she has a responsibility. Like, she can't get up there and be sloppy. It's like you have to like really show up, and so you have to be responsible, and you have to like
Yeah.
you have to like
So ironically, she
drink tea
yeah.
and go to bed,
bed.
and like
Oh.
you have to like do all these things that
That's so interesting.
yeah, it is interesting. So yeah, I'm always steaming always steaming my voice or my vocal cords, drinking tons of water, and whenever like I'm still learning like how to scream and growl, but like learning how to do it in a way that is safe.
Right.
That you can do it again the next night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the part of your chest that it comes out of, right? It's
Yeah,
just
and it
like
has to be
really
natural. It can't be forced. So, because if you force too much, then that's whenever the damage happens. So it has to be like there's like a certain amount of pressure, and
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
It's a building up.
That's a whole art to that.
It really
right?
is a lot. Yeah, I'm learning.
It's very cool. Well, you guys, any kind of coming to the end, do you have any final thoughts from each of you about like new things for us to look out for? I did want to mention, so the show is airing on February 7th, and you have a show February 24th at El Rocko.
Yes.
But yeah, how about like a final thought from each of you, including you, David? Final thought.
Oh no.
Everybody, I see you. I see you excited to talk.
No, I'm just very impressed that you're so open and willing to experiment, and the most important thing is being so open to whatever possibilities that this might be. You know, I mean, that's one of the most important things about art of almost any type. So I'm just impressed.
Yeah.
And aside from the music that I heard that was impressive so far, let's be honest, I
You
only
got to
heard
see him
one song.
live.
But it was just a very great pleasure to meet you all, for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'll let you espouse on whatever the future may hold for you now.
We definitely got real lucky meeting each other.
Yeah.
It's awesome with Veronica and Emma too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's awesome that we've been able to have all women as well. It's just so cool. And then
Yeah, it's
our
just a great
manager is also a
environment.
woman, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
so sick. But we're super excited.
We don't
to
have
keep
anything
writing
against
stuff.
men, but
Yeah, no.
But
Yeah.
No,
Just-
that's
it's a fun
it's important
dynamic,
that
you
you're-
know?
yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic. Having all women versus even having like one guy in the mix just changes the dynamic a lot.
yeah.
But
The music industry is so male, so it's nice to have all of you where you can like band together as
Yeah.
fun.
And
Yeah.
it's not like
Similar experiences. Yeah.
Like it's not hard to find female musicians. So we're like, well, why don't we just
That's
be
wonderful.
an all-girl band?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to work with Sophia and see the kind
Yeah.
of new things that she brings to the table. She's got great ideas already, and I think it can definitely put us another step forward.
Yeah.
So
very
we can focus
excited for
more
this year.
on music,
Writing.
writing music,
Right.
instead of worrying about
Yeah,
all the other things we got going on.
Yeah.
The peripherals.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's like a definite stepping stone you've made it to have a manager.
Definitely. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
It's fun when like people come up to us after shows and like say how much they love our music, or like, oh, I loved your solo or something, and I'm like, yeah, I love it too.
Yeah.
Like, we're just as excited about our music as everyone else is when they come talk to us. So we
Very
love
cool.
talking about our music, and yeah.
I just think that kind of going off of what Maddie said is I'm just blown away that because I love this so much, like more than I like have ever loved anything. I think truly, and so the fact that other people love it too. It's not like why we produce what we do. You know, we don't do it.
No.
We do it for us. Obviously, that artists, we really are doing it for us, right? But like the fact that other people love it, it's just it blows my mind.
Yeah.
It blows.
We're like all getting
my
excited
mind.
together.
Yeah,
You're
like
grateful.
because I'm honored. I'm honored that I am in this position to share this with people and with these incredible women right here. Like I cannot believe that I like.
It's very cool.
Where am I? like you know, and it's really I'm so honored that I get to do this. I can't believe it. I wake up sometimes and I'm like, I can't start thinking about it too much because then I'm like, oh my god, you know, like start to freak out, you know, because it's just, I mean, who gets to say? I mean, who gets to say?
To be so happy. Yeah.
Like it's just wow.
Well, you guys, I've seen you live at Starling Yard. You're amazing. I need to come see you in an indoor club because it'll be a different vibe. But you all are great, and I'm so excited to have a female with Kiss of Metal band around. So yeah, we are #blessed to have you in town. So yeah, thank you so much. This has been
thank you so much.
the Maxines.
Thank you so much for having us.
Our
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Yeah.
It's amazing.